creator friends, welcome to my channel, and I am gonna do a video on something I think is super clever and I can't wait to show you. So if you watched any of my Saturday happenings or any of that, you'll know that we are gonna have a new great niece, and I love making baby stuff. I don't know why, I'm just a baby clothes maker, and I make these super cute little dresses out of onesies. You can see these anywhere, but I'm going to show you how I do them. The thing I love about them is they're super easy, and there is no pattern to follow. That's easy because patterns are a pain. So there's no pattern to follow. Basic sewing skills. You don't need a fancy machine. You only need a machine that does a zigzag and a straight stitch, and all the basic machines do that. So you don't need anything fancy. I have a serger, and so I use that to finish the edges, but you don't have to have that. The zigzag will do fine. And you only need some fabric, some onesie, and it's so cute. So let me show you. So our niece is going to be born in June, our great niece. And so I made the ones for the summer in summery looking. And then I was showing a couple of my friends, and they're like, oh, you should do a video on that. So then I realized I was going to make the larger size, which would be more in the fall and winter. And there was no fabric at Joann's that wasn't summery and springy, so I'm going to show you what I came up with. But here is one of the little baby outfits. Isn't that cute? And see, this is done on a onesie. So there's one that I made, and then here's another one. I made several. And then here's another one. See, let me see. You hang it, stretch it out. This is super cute little skirt, and I put the little buttons on there. But I also made the little bunny ear bow to go with it. But the one I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a different bow for. So this is cute. So I wanted to get something that was fall, you know, or winter, and so I was going with the 6 to 9 month size. And I went to Walmart. They got the Carter's brand, and they had the one that was like, it was a blue, a gray, and a dark blue. It's the boys section. But I didn't care because I still wanted something that I could make look girly. So this is so cute. This is actually probably one of my favorites. So this is the gray long sleeve onesie, and the reason I wanted that was because it's long sleeve, because it's going to be fall or winter time. But look at what I did. I got this thermal, it's like the thermal knit, and it's all, there's the onesie part. So this is like the, isn't that cute? But you know what makes it even cuter? The fact that I made this adorable headband bow that goes with it. So there you have such a cute little outfit. Isn't that adorable? I love it. And because it will be winter time, they had the little matching leggings, so she could wear this like this. How cute. So I made that one. And then I got to get my other onesie here, because we're going to do the one in the navy blue. The other one I made is this one. It's light blue, and it has a little koala print. So these were basically kind of boy prints that I was able to make kind of girly. So then I made this one, and there it is with the little koala print, the little bow. Now I will do a video for the bow as well. So see, isn't that cute? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this, because these, I'm not kidding you, once you make one, you're going to love it. They're so simple. So what I have here, I'm going to tilt you down and show you what I'm going for. So hang on, I'm going to tilt you down so that you can see what's happening. This one I have the blue onesie, and this one is the 6 to 9 month size. So the way you do this, there's no pattern. So simple. The way you do it is whatever size you're using. For example, if I was doing the little 0 to 3 month, like you saw those, it's easy. You take a tape measure. You take your onesie, and you can do this up for like full-size t-shirts. You can make these for adults. Same concept. So here I have this little onesie. I'm going to measure across the onesie. It's about 8 inches, a little over, about 8 inches, okay? So if I double that, is 16 inches, so that's the front and back. So what you want to do is to create the skirt with the gathers, you want to double that. So that's 16 inches doubled is 32. So I need to have a piece of fabric that's 32 inches long, because it's going to be gathered up for the skirt. Now lengthwise, when I am figuring the length, you want to figure where you're going to place it on the top. Let me get one of the short ones and I'll show you. Let me see. Like this little one here. Okay, so this little one here is a 0 to 3 month. Okay, and what I did on this one is I came down from the armpit 1.5 inches. So I came down 1.5 inches. On the next size up, I'm going to go like 2 inches, and then on this size, I'm going to go 2.5 inches, and then the one that's 9 to 12 months, you'll go 3 inches. And that's going to place it kind of at that high waist on the onesie. So I got strings everywhere. So 8 across the front, 8 across the back is 16. Doubled is 32. So I've got a 32-inch wide fabric. I cut it already 32 inches. And you check to make sure you're, I'm using a t-shirt knit. You can use any kind of fabric. You will want to increase it if it doesn't have very much play in it, or decrease it if it has a lot, like this one with the waffle weave knit. This stuff is super stretchy. See that? So I actually made this about 3 inches shorter because I just want to, it just depends on how full you want the actual skirt. So if you want it really, really full, you'll add some. If you don't want it as full, if it's just super stretchy fabric, you'll want to just decrease it. So this is why there's no pattern. You just kind of do it the way you want it. So there I have the pattern, or the fabric. Now I'm going to go on my little onesie, and this one I said I'm going to go down 2.5 inches, and I'm going to mark a little line. This one I'm going to have to use my little white marker, and there's my ruler. So I'm going to come down here 2.5 inches, and I'm going to mark it. Okay, and this, because babies babies aren't like little soldiers. They're like all bendy and chubby and stuff, so this is not going to be a big thing if it's not, if you don't have it like exactly right here. No one's going to know. It's just so simple. So now I'm going to make a line across here, because this is going to be the placement of the skirt. On the other ones I was able to use my colored marker that goes away with heat. I could iron over it and it goes away. Okay, there's that. So see how I have the line there? Now I'm going to turn it over and do the line here. So now what you have is you have your onesie marked for this size, which is 6 to 9 months. It is marked 2.5 inches down from the armpit. 9 to 12 would be 3. You just, it's a 1/2 inch up or down based on how many month sizes you have. Okay, so now I'm going to draw this line. And you can use any kind of onesie. You can use any kind of size. It's cute. Okay. Don't do that. I need the iron to be on. Okay, so there's that. Now this onesie is marked. You can see the line across there, front and back. This is where we're going to place the skirt. So now we don't need this at all for a little while. Now what I have is I have my my fabric that's going to be the skirt. What I want to remind you is we're going to put a hem in it. What I want to remind you, though, is if you have a directional fabric like my little koalas, you want to make sure that you lay your fabric with the. I mean, you'd be surprised. It's happened to me. It happens to people. You always want to make sure your fabric is up, so you're going to put your hem down here. This is a multi-directional fabric. There's really, look at the little gray birds in there. I could have used this on the gray onesie. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do it for the hem. So you want your hem about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch or 1 inch. You can measure it, but I've been kind of doing it so long. I know that from the tip of my finger to my first knuckle is 1 inch. From my first knuckle to my next knuckle is 1 inch. And from my next knuckle to this knuckle is 1 inch. So my finger is like the perfect on-the-spot ruler for me. So when I put this over here and I kind of run my finger, I know that's about 3/4 of an inch because it goes right before my knuckle. So I have the same hands my mom had. She's the one that taught me that. So now what I'm going to do, and I'm going to make this whole thing in front of you. I'm not going to, well, I might pause. It depends on what's happening, if I have to go over to my serger or something. But I'm going to do this whole thing so you can see how quick and easy it is. Now you can use pins, or I like to use these little clips because they're just easier for me. I like the little clips. Now I'm going to pull this in. And this is not fancy sewing. This is just make it easy, make it quick, but make it so darn cute. Oh my gosh. You can't handle it. It's so cute. Okay, so we're going to run this hem. And then I'm going to bring it over and show you, because what I do, just to give it that more professional kind of look, I put a double line on there, like a double stitch line. And I do have little tags that say handmade, but I don't put them on these because I didn't make the onesie. If I make the whole thing, I'll put them on there, but I didn't. Now if your sewing machine has a stretch stitch, that'll be awesome for the elastic, but otherwise you can just use a zigzag. Not a biggie. Alright, now we're going to get over here to the, I want to move my iron, there we go. Okay, I'm going to bring you over. Now I am going to pause you because I'm going to bring you over so that you can actually watch me stitch it. Hey creative friends, I just want to pop in here because this little insert, because I looked back on the video and realized I never told you how to measure the length for the skirt. So I'm going to put this in here right quick. I can't use the skirt to show you because that's already boxed up on its way to Virginia. So I can't go back and edit, but I'm just going to put this in here. So simple. I explained how to measure the width of the skirt so that it counts for all the gathering. Now when you want to do the length of the skirt, you take your little onesie where you marked your line where the skirt is going to attach. You measure down to the bottom of the onesie where the little snaps are, and then add like 2 inches. You know, if you want it to hang a little lower than the bottom of the onesie, you could add like 3 inches, because that additional will cover the hem and it will cover where it's attached to the onesie. So for this onesie, I think it was 12 inches long is what I did it for. But if you have a smaller one, you could do it shorter. I've done, I think the little newborny ones are only like 10 inches. So you just want to measure from where you drew the line on your onesie, where you've decided you want it to attach, down to the base of the onesie, and then add a couple inches that will cover for the attachment at the top where the skirt is attached, and it will work for the hem as well. So I just want to put this in there so that nobody worries about how to measure the length of the onesie. So sorry about that, guys. All I did was move you. So this is still, you're going to see me actually make it from beginning to end. Now I'm going to put this on here, and what I like to do is I like to put this edge of the hem, and on this piece of fabric, you'll see that I used my serger, and I serged to finish the edges all the way along the 2 long sides. Because I have a serger, I like to use it for that. If you don't have a serger, you can take your piece of fabric and just go down the 2 long edges with a zigzag stitch if you want to finish it. This is knit fabric, it's not going to fray. I just like the look of a finished edge. So if you don't have a serger, you can do that. I'll show you my serger here in a second. Anyway, so I like to put the edge, the finished edge there, to the outside of my presser foot. This is how I line it up. Now I'm going to do a quick, I got to do my straight stitch. There we go. That's going to be quicker. So this is going to do my hem. I'm just going to, are you bouncing? You're bouncing. Hang on. I'm going to try to hold you. I'm going to hold you up so that it's not bouncy. I know this is a gimbal and you shouldn't vibrate, but that was pretty bouncy. Hang tight. Look at this one-handed sewing. I'm holding the camera with the other hand. So you get a smooth ride. My sewing machine is really going for it. Okay. I'm just going to fold this over. Grab it. Okay. I never thought about you sitting there on my table. And do a little back stitch and a little cut. Okay, so now I'm going to take you back over and show you the next thing to do. I'm going to run my second stitch line here, and you can use a twin needle, you know, like 2 needles, and you know, in all my years of sewing I have never used a twin needle, and I think they're cool. But what I do, I guess I'm too lazy to put one in, I actually own twin needles. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in there, and the stitch line, see the straight stitch line right there? I'm going to put that on the inside of this toe of my presser foot, just because that's going to give me the line to follow to make a double. What's happening? Remove any thread. Uh-oh. Must have a little thing going on here. Okay, there. I just got a little warning from my sewing machine. Let's see. It's not. Okay. Ooh, that didn't sound good. Okay. We're fine. Alright, now. Oh, good. I don't know why it was vibrating so much a minute ago. I was really going after it. I think you might be bouncing a little bit. Anyway, so this going on the inside of that toe is going to give me a little double line, and it just, to me, it looks a little bit more professionally finished. So we'll take a look at that in a second. And the elastic is the next part, and it's actually pretty easy to do. So far no pattern, just one big rectangle, double it's twice as long as your circumference of your little onesie or whatever you're using. You could do this with a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. You can make this for a little girl, like, you know, elementary school age, using a t-shirt. Same concept. Super simple to do. Super cute too. Okay, so now we're done. Alright, now back up, cut. Okay, now I'm going to take you back over and show you how to do the elastic. Your piece of elastic, I got this huge roll of elastic, and this is 1/4 inch elastic, back when I worked at the bank, and we had to make masks. I just couldn't stand it. I had to make stuff for everybody, so I brought in a bunch of different fabrics, and I let all my tellers pick the fabric that they liked, and I came home and made masks for everybody. So they were wearing a mask that they liked the fabric of. So that was fun. But I had to buy this bulk bunch of elastic, so I have a lot of it. So it's perfect for this. So this is 1/4 inch elastic. Now remember, this was 8 inches, right? So the elastic is 16 inches, because see, that's and you don't have to have it tight enough that it will hold the skirt up, because the skirt is attached to the onesie. So basically it is the circumference of this. It's 16 inches because this is 8 inches across, so front and back is 16 inches. So I have this 16-inch piece of elastic. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it here. I'm going to run a little stitch over there, and this is where you'll use your zigzag or your stretch stitch. And then I'm going to pull it all the way to this end, and then get it all the way to this end. And when I have it pulled there, then I'll grab it in the middle, and then I'll show you how I'm going to stitch it. But that's how I do it. I am not a professional, so if you know someone that does it better, then you can try it their way, but this is how I do it. Alright, so I'm going to take this piece of elastic, and I'm going to lay it just on the inside of my serging stitch, or if you did a zigzag stitch, or if you didn't do any stitch, you're going to lay it about 1/4 inch inside of there. And I want to run a little stitch just to hold it there. So I'm going to run this little stitch so that it grabs on. And then the secret is how you pull it through your machine. Okay, let me just get a little stitch on there. Back it up and go forward. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my needle in there to hold it. And then I'm going to see if I can pull this out so that you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Now I'm going to pull this. I'm going to get this end of the elastic. Let me see if I can bring it over a little bit. There. Okay. So I'm going to get the end of the elastic, and I'm going to match it to the end of this piece of fabric. And then I'm going to pull so that it's stretched all the way out. And I'm going to grab it kind of in the middle, but I'm going to grab it right there. Okay? And then that's the way I'm going to do all the way along. But I'm going to hold this tight so that I can get this going through the machine. So I've got the little end of it out there. There we go. You got to have something to grab back here. Let me get that. There. And now I'm going to put it on my stretch stitch. If you have a zigzag or a stretch, this is where you'll want to do that. And then you could do this because you're pulling it completely tight. You could do this with a straight stitch, but I'm going to use my stretch stitch. And then I'm just going to go along over the elastic on the inside of that piece. I'm going to see if I can show you that close up. Can you see how that is doing it? Right on the elastic on the inside of that finished edge. Okay, hold tight. There we go. Okay. And now I've reached the point where my finger is, so now I'm going to leave the needle down and I'm going to pull it back to the end. You don't want to do it just in the middle or you'll get off. So I'm going to pull it back in the end and I'm going to grab another section and line it up. There we are. And then pull it from the front and the back and stitch away. I'm going to do the seam on my serger, so I'll bring you over and show you that. If you don't have a serger, if you use a lot of knits, if you sew with a lot of knits and you don't have a serger, oh my gosh. There, stay down. Okay, now I'm going to do this again. I could do this like silent. It could be one of those things where people just like to watch the needle go up and down. I don't know. Okay, there we are. And here we go. Okay, and we're almost done. Almost there. Because once you do this, you're going to have your little ruffly skirt. And I suppose if you're making a bigger version of this, like an adult version, honestly, we were talking about that. We used to make those t-shirt dresses back in the 80s, and you didn't use elastic at all. You just basically sewed this to the bottom of a t-shirt and made those drop waist looking things. Okay. Alright. Now I'm going to take you back over there and show you what I'm going to do next. Here is your little skirt, see? Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the right sides together. I'm going to bring this string off here. Which, by the way, where's my scissors? There they are. By the way, you see my little trash can? When I'm sewing, especially when I'm using my embroidery machine, there's so many little bits of string and little scraps of fabric. I have this little mini trash can. Look at that. I fill this up with all of these little things, and then I don't throw these away. I put these in a suet holder. In fact, I've got one right here. Looky look. I put them in there for the birds, and I hang it out there and they get that for their nests. It's kind of fun. So I do that. So, okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take this right sides together. You're going to match up the edges. Let me clip that. Okay. Right sides together, and now we're going to sew this back seam. I am going to use my serger and go along, and I'll see if I can adjust my phone so that you can see it go on the serger. Here with a serger, it does this finished edge that you see in commercial clothing and stuff, but it also will cut as it sews, as it stitches. So there's a little knife over here that's cutting away, so it just makes a really nice finished edge. Get over there. There you go. I did a video about my serger and my sewing machine because I love them, and I do a lot of knits. And so having a serger is like so nice. Okay, and it does a nice finished edge. So see, it trimmed off that, which will go to the birds. And there is the little seam edge that. We are back. So now we've got, you see, we have just created this adorable little skirt. Let me snip that. See, there's your skirt. All right, there's your cute little skirt. Now, remember the line that we drew on this onesie? You need to unsnap the bottom because you're going to need to reach up inside this onesie. The way I like to do it, figure out your method. Do you see I have that white line on there? I start on the back, so I turn it over and pull the sleeves up. And then you do this right sides together. So, I do this. Ooh, let me get that little snip there. Okay. So I do this right here. Let me pin this. So now what's going to happen is the seam for the skirt is going to go on the back. And it's going to be like this, but in order to make it, it's going to flip down. So you want to stick this whole thing up in the skirt and lay it flat. There you go, you have it flat. So the skirt is kind of like the right sides together. And now I'm going to find the line, and I'm going to kind of judge the center of it. And now I'm going to pin that right there. So I'm going to pin it, and I want to reach up inside of it so I don't pin both front and back together. So hang on, let me get this, there we are, lined up. Perfect. And now I'm going to line up the sides. I'm going to pull this flat, so see, I've got it pulled out. Where's the sides? And the side pins, now I want to pin this side right here. And it's going to kind of happen the same way we did the elastic, where you pull it and as you go. And I'm going to come over this side and pin this guy right here. See, pin that on the side. And you can put as many pins in as you want. I'm pretty comfortable with only having a few pins front or back. So there's that. Now I'm on the front side. Got my sides pulled out. And now I'm going to pin the front. See, there's the front. And now there's that white line. And what's going to happen is I'm going to stitch along with my stretch stitch or your zigzag stitch over the elastic. So depends on the color of your little outfit. This won't show through. But if you wanted to have your fabric, your stitching match, you know, want to make sure you checked that. But it won't show through because it's going to actually fold over it. So let me get this in here. And now we're going to go back over to the machine and we're going to do the stitching. We're at the machine. There you go. Let me get you down there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the bottom on my machine. I'm going to go through the bottom of the little onesie, and I'm going to come around to where I'm right here at this the back center seam, and I'm going to put my needle down in there. Okay, that holds it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull. Let me take this needle out. You don't want to ever stitch over a needle. It's bad for your machine. It'll break your needle. Okay, so, or stitch over a pin. So now what I've done is I've got that lined up, and I'm going to take a few stitches, and I'm going to back it up, do a little back stitch just to secure it. And now, so, oops, and it's got a little bump. That's okay, I'll pull it through. This is very forgiving. Now what I'm going to do is, as I pull forward, I'm going to sneak peek under here just to eyeball that this elastic. You can barely see, but the elastic is on top of that line that I made. And it's easier when I use a lighter colored onesie, and I use like a blue marker. It's easier. Fabric marker, so that it washes or irons away. And now I'm going to pull that one out. Take a little gander. Yep, there's the ooh, that white stuff's hard to see. That chalk goes away. Oh, darn it, I gotta change my bobbin. Hold on. Another bobbin. Alright, now we're gonna keep going. Oh, let me press it. Okay. Now we'll keep going. And when I get to each pin, I just kind of gander under there and make sure I'm still in line on that white. It looks alright. On the line that I drew. Ooh, getting close to a pin. Okay, we're almost done here. This literally is almost done. And I'm telling you, when you kind of get everything cut, sometimes I'll do like a little assembly line thing where I'll cut them all and then I just sit there and I do everything. Like I have a little pile of like assembly line baby dress sewing. But they turn out so cute. Wait till you see this one. It's so cute. Okay, hold on. There. Okay. Oops, you're bouncing. I really get to going. Okay, almost done. Almost done. And I'm getting these in the mail tomorrow. They're going all the way to Virginia. And I made 6 of these little dresses from the 0 to 3 month, and I made 2 other little outfits. I posted a picture of those on my Facebook. I made the little crunchy toys, and I made bibs, and I made a car seat cover, and I made burp cloths, and I just had a heck of a good time. Alright, now I'm going to take you back and I'm going to show you the finished product. Alright, here we are. Oh, by the way, that bobbin that I had to change, there's always, you know, thread left on the bobbin that you pull off. And that will be a super, super long piece. So I'm actually going to cut it so that it's not such a long piece, because a bird would not want a piece that long. So that's a thing. I've done that forever. My little bird thing. I think my grandma told me to do that. Okay, now I'm going to snap the little baby part, little onesie part, and I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to see this adorable finished little dress. Looky look. Okay, there it is. Isn't that the cutest thing? Now I could run my little, there we go, my little iron over it if I want to, but you see how this is a real short one, which is fine because it has a little pair of leggings that go with it. So this is a wintertime outfit. So this has a little pair of leggings that goes under it. Isn't that the cutest little outfit? So there you have it. And that's all it takes to do it. And I just think it's a lot of fun to make these, and everybody loves them. And then on my other little ones I put buttons. Now I could put some little cute pink buttons here if I wanted to, but I'm just going to make these also because the baby's older and might pull on the buttons, and I don't want that to happen. So now I'm going to put together one of these adorable little headbands. Let me show you. Like, where'd my headbands go? Uh-oh. I don't know. I had one here. Anyway, I'm going to put together a headband. And in next week's video, check out next week's video, because I'm going to use this to make the headband. So go ahead, if you want to make these, make some of these up because they're so darn cute, and save a little bit of fabric so that when you watch next week's video, you'll get to see how to make the headbands that match them. So I hope that you guys enjoyed making these little baby dresses out of a onesie. So cute. Hang on. The little cute little baby onesie dresses. No pattern, no super sewing skills, no super techie, you know, basic machine is all you need, and you can make something this cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.